Hey, welcome to La Cucina Famiglia. I'm Angela Dominic, and today we're going to make holiday cookies. Well, I've actually got a guest here with me today. This is my niece, Sydney, and she's going to help me make some cookies today. We're making a fun cookie today where, you know, everybody's so busy around the holidays, and holiday cookies are one of those traditions that people seem to let go of. The recipe we're going to work on today is we're going to take one basic batter and we're going to turn it into 4 different flavored cookies. So it's not only time saving, but they're also very yummy. So Sydney's going to help me do a few things today. We're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing we're going to need is some butter. Now, the recipe, we're going to double this recipe so we get a lot more cookies out of it. So the first thing we need is butter. When the recipe calls for ½ cup of butter, and we're going to double it. So you want to help me do some fractions?
Sure.
Okay, let's go over to the chalkboard. And we're looking for what 1/2 and 1/2 equals. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals, what do we got there? Okay, you want to tell us what it is? 1 whole cup. All right, go ahead and set your chalk down and let's go put the whole cup of butter in. The fun thing about butter, too, I mean, it makes it nice and easy for you, is that right here on the side of the package, it tells you what your measurements are. So 1 cup of butter is 2 sticks, and we're going to go ahead and drop them right in the mixer. Yep, you go ahead and drop them right in the mixer. Nope, just slide them right in. We'll use the spatula. Oops, let's turn it. So there we go, butter's in. Good. And then to the butter, we're going to add sugar. Now again, we're looking for a whole cup of sugar because the recipe calls for ½ cup, so we're doubling. So this is a ½ cup measurement, so we're going to need 2 of those. You want to scoop them right in this bowl for me? And then we're going to turn the mixer on. There we go. Perfect. And then 1 more. It's sugary, yeah? All right, here we go. We're going to turn the mixer on, get that creaming, because what we're looking for is to get our butter and our sugar creamed together so it's light and fluffy. Let's lock it in.
What if you don't have one of these at home?
Well, you can do this by hand. A wooden spoon works best because it's easier to cream it with a wooden spoon. So when the butter is warm, see how quick that comes together? It's much easier to do with warm butter. So the next part is we're going to do some eggs. I'm going to have you crack them into here. You ready to crack some eggs for me? Let's come right over here so everyone can see you cracking the eggs. We're going to need 4.
Okay.
Oop, that's all right, and we'll just do them one at a time.
That means the recipe only calls for 2?
The recipe,
Double in?
yep, exactly right.
Put the shells.
I'll take the shells for you. We'll put them right here on that plate. How's that? I'm going to do, yep, we'll get another one in there. Let's put it in. Yeah, I'll dump them in. I'm on this side. All right, and then we need 2 more. Good job. And you know, what's the trick about cracking eggs?
You put your thumb through.
We crack them on a flat surface. If you crack them on a flat surface instead of on the edge, it makes it so your shells won't push into the egg. You're less apt to get shells that way. Perfect. All right, in with the last 2 eggs. Now we're going to stop this for 1 second. You just want to scrape down your sides, see how it's kind of sticking a little bit to the sides? So we'll scrape down our sides a little bit. Yeah, it's stuck on that, it is. That's all the butter. But it'll work its way right off there nice and easily.
I wouldn't want to eat that now.
No, you probably wouldn't want to eat this now. Okay, let's get this going, and we'll move over here a little bit, and we'll work on our dry ingredients at the same time. Good, that's all mixed. So, 2 cups of flour. So how many are we going to need? We have recipe calls for 2. How many are we're going to need? 4? Yep. So let's put 4 in. Make sure they're, yeah, nice and flat. Very good. Cooking's messy. I always say if you don't get your hands in it, it's not going to taste as good, right? You know that one. There we go. And then 2 more. It's a real simple recipe. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients. We're going to add some baking powder and some salt to this, and then a touch of vanilla, and that's our whole basic dough. Comes together real nice. If you need to, oh, you're all right. I was going to say, if you needed to use the half cup, we could do that. Go ahead, yep. Here, let's get you and wipe your hands on. How's that? All right, now next into the bowl, we're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So let's actually show how, you see how it's on the thing? Yep. It's on the spoon right there. We got them all measured out for us, and they go in increments of doubling. So exactly what we're doing. So it's if it calls for 1/4, we need either 2/4 or we can jump up to the half, right?
We could just do the half because it's easier.
Yep. So go ahead and give me a 1/2. Yep. Good. And then the last thing going into this is going to be just some good old baking powder. We want our cookies to puff. That's how I always remember it. Powder with the P, powder poofs. That's what the baking powder in your cookie is going to do. It's going to give it its rise. So we're going to, now let me show you how we do with this. We're going to need 4 of these. We're using 4 tablespoons, which seems like a lot, but there's not a lot of ingredients in the cookie, so we're really relying on this to do it. So if you go in and you use the side of the container, we get a perfectly measured tablespoon. I did the first 2. Go ahead and get the second 2 in there. And our wet ingredients are looking great. We're going to add a little bit of vanilla to it. Yeah. You like vanilla? Yeah. Okay, and we're going to add that right into the wet. And again, it calls for 2 teaspoons, so I'm just going to use 2 teaspoons. Doubled is 4 teaspoons, and we'll just get them in there. I'll go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, there's our messy plate. So now that that's all the wet's all in there, you see that?
I smell the vanilla.
You can, yeah. We're going to whisk this together. Use the whisk, and we're going to give it a nice little whisk. This way, when we add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, the baking powder is all evenly distributed. That's good, that's all. We don't need a big flour storm here. So it's all, so you're not going to have any clumps of baking powder or any clumps of salt or anything in one spot, so everything's all nice and easy. Instead of using a sifter, it's just as easy to go ahead with a whisk and just give it a good whisk. It makes it nice and easy.
Is the mixing done?
The mixing, the wet part is pretty good and mixed. You can see that. You see how that's all mixed in there? It's smelling yummy. Now we're going to add the dry. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll just scoop it in a little bit at a time, and we're just going to let it incorporate.
Pour all of it in there?
I'm going to kick this back to slow because, yeah, it's all going to go in there.
Wow.
We're just going to go nice and slow and get it mixed in. The fun part comes next. We're going to break it into 4 batches, and we're going to make it different flavors.
Do you get to touch it?
You will. You're going to help me.
It's squishy.
Like, remember when you made pasta with us? We kneaded the lemon into the dough, and we did it all on the table. We're going to do the same kind of thing with these cookies.
That was fun.
That was fun. All right, let's just get this last little bit in there because our dough feels like it's ready. What do you think?
So good.
Let's move that right out of the way. Okay. Cookie dough. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now we're going to just take the beater off and, oops, get the bowl off. Okay, this is the fun. Go ahead and touch.
Are we making beater cookies?
No. Get that dough all off the beater into the bowl there. It's kind of like Play-Doh, isn't it?
It smells better.
It smells better. There we go. Good. I'm going to let you do that while I move a few things out of our way. Let's get these things right out of our way. Because we're going to put a touch of flour down on the counter.
To make it not sticky?
Yep. And then we're going to switch back spots again.
Oh, so good.
Can't wait to eat them, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, now let Ani do this part. Now we'll get it all down onto the counter. We're going to use our rub spatula for that. those things right out of our way. So now we're going to make them into different flavors. Now, out of the 4, we're doing lemon, chocolate, yes, almond, and anisette.
What is anisette?
Anisette, do you know?
I don't
No, I know. I'm laughing because what's the one cookie that Nona makes? Those little one batch of cookies that she can make?
Oh, yeah.
Those are the anisette cookies.
I don't remember them.
They look like the pink ones right there on the tray.
Oh.
So it's a really nice working cookie dough.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right, here we go. Let's get this kneaded in just a little bit. You touch it, touches a little bit like pasta dough.
Can I knead it?
Nope, not yet, not yet. We're gonna break it into 4.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have you knead it into knead some chocolate into it. Well, I figured that'd be the one you'd want to do. Sydney's a chocolate monster. All right, there's our cookie dough. Whoops. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. See, so it's a really easy, it feels like a refrigerated dough for all you cookie bakers. We're just going to go in half, and in half, and in half. And we'll set 2 of them aside, and we'll work on the first 2 first.
What are we going to use the first ones?
We're going to do, I'm going to let you do chocolate, which we're just going to use a nice unsweetened cocoa powder because there's plenty of sugar already in the cookie dough. So we'll just take a little bit. And it takes about a half a tablespoon. Now we'll just lay it down. I'm just going to sprinkle it here. And then so it doesn't stick to the counter, we'll use it just like flour and just lay it on the counter.
On there and then it,
Yep. Now we'll just knead it. Yep, let me show you. Just like when we do in and around, just like that. Perfect. Let me put some flavoring in mine so I can be kneading at the same time as you. I'm going to do the anise ones first and get them all done. So anise oil is very, very strong. It smells like black licorice. And yep, you absolutely can smell it. Yeah, usually not a kid favorite. Chocolate's probably going to be the one.
Now I know the cookies because I wasn't.
You remember them now that you can smell it? Yeah. I don't want to get mine mixed up with yours, so keep your chocolate on your own side. All right, just a little touch. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of the anise oil. We don't want them too strong, and it's a very powerful oil.
Do you think I could have some more?
Cocoa, you feel like you need a little bit more?
I think so, because I'm not getting any in the middle because I'm
Sure.
just getting them.
We'll give you a little touch more cocoa. Yeah, it's starting to come. There we go. Let's go another half.
Okay,
How's that?
that's good. Thank you.
That should really cocoa it up for you. As chocolate as you can get it, huh? Well, it's going to be fun because later on we're going to dip it in some melted chocolate that we're going to melt too, so they'll be really chocolatey. All right. So that's our anise ones.
Doesn't look like you put anything in it.
Nope, because it doesn't have any color to it.
Oh.
But you can smell it. Smell the dough now. Smells like anise. So we'll just set that one aside. Smells like chocolate. And then the next one we're going to do, that I'm going to do, is going to be the almond one. Same thing like the anise. The almond is actually an extract. It's not an oil. So we're going to use a little bit more. We're going to go with 1/2 teaspoon of almond.
That's almond?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Smell that almond extract. Yep.
Wow. I didn't know almond was selected.
Well, they make extract flavors out of a lot